Open world games have the power to transport us to incredible, immersive environments. These virtual landscapes become our playground, offering endless possibilities for exploration and adventure. So today, I'm showcasing some of the best open world games that stand out for their exceptionally immersive environments. Without further ado, let's set sail to our first pick, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is like stepping into a pirate's playground. The vast, rolling oceans, the creaking of your ship, and the constant threat of other players lurking just over the horizon, it's all there. You can practically taste the sea salt as you're sailing around, digging up treasure and engaging in epic ship battles. And let me tell you, there's nothing quite like the panic of spotting another ship and wondering if they're friendly or about to blow you out of the water. The water physics in this game are insane, and the way the light plays off the waves at sunset is perfect. It's the kind of game where you log in for a quick session and suddenly realize you've been playing for hours. The sense of freedom as you chart your own course across the map is unparalleled. Whether you're tackling tall tales with your crew, hunting down skeleton captains, or just fishing off the side of your sloop, there's always something to do. The way the developer has continued to support and expand this game is impressive, with each update adding new layers of depth to an already rich world. From the spooky shores of the Devil's Roar to the serene beaches of the Ancient Isles, each region feels distinct and full of character. It's a world that begs to be explored, with secrets hidden around every corner. Speaking of worlds begging to be explored, Skyrim got you covered. Now, I know some of you might think why this ancient game is here, but hear me out. There's a reason we're still talking about this game over a decade after its release. This game world is packed with so much detail and lore that you can literally spend hundreds of hours exploring and still find new things. From the towering throat of the world to the eerie depths of Blackreach, every location feels unique and alive. And don't even get me started on the modding community. With the right mods, you can make Skyrim look and feel like a brand new game in 2024. The way the game lets you craft your own story and become whoever you want to be, whether that's the dragonborn savior of Tamriel or just some random adventurer, is just unmatched. The freedom to approach quests in multiple ways, join different factions, and even ignore the main storyline entirely if you want to, gives you a sense of agency that few other games can match. And let's not forget about the dragons. The first time you hear that roar and see a dragon swooping down from the sky, it's a gaming moment you'll never forget. The way the world reacts to your choices, with NPCs commenting on your actions and your reputation changing based on what you do, makes Skyrim feel like a living, breathing place. It's a game that's easy to lose yourself in, where you can spend hours just wandering the wilderness, stumbling across ancient ruins and hidden caves. But maybe you're tired of fantasy settings and want something a bit more grounded in reality. Well, saddle up, because Kingdom Come Deliverance is taking you back in time. Set in medieval Bohemia, this game takes historical accuracy to a whole new level. The attention to detail is also great, from the period-accurate clothing to the realistic combat system. It's not just about swinging a sword. You need to consider your opponent's armor, your stance, and even which part of the blade you're hitting with. The world feels lived in and authentic, with NPCs going about their daily lives regardless of what you're doing, and let me tell you, navigating without a minimap and relying on actual landmarks, it's a challenge, but it's so rewarding when you finally figure out where you are. The way the game handles skills is fantastic too. You actually have to practice to get better at things like reading or lockpicking. It's a game that doesn't hold your hand, and that makes every accomplishment feel earned. The story is gripping too, with political intrigue and personal vendettas driving the narrative forward. And the side quests? They're not just filler. Each one feels like a miniature story in itself, often with multiple ways to complete them. The way the game handles reputation and relationships adds another layer of depth, with your actions having real consequences in how people treat you. It's a game that demands patience and attention to detail, but for those willing to invest the time, it offers an unparalleled level of immersion in its medieval world. Now, if you thought Kingdom Come's attention to detail was impressive, wait till you see what Dragon's Dogma 2 brings to the table. Holy crap, guys. If you thought the first game was good, this sequel takes everything to 11. The world is absolutely massive, and it's filled with these incredible, dynamic encounters that make every journey feel like an epic adventure. You might be casually strolling along when suddenly a massive griffin swoops down and snatches up one of your pawns. The way your party members interact with the world and provide context for what's happening around you is just amazing. And don't even get me started on the character creator. You can spend hours just perfecting your character and your main pawn. The day and night cycle actually matters too, with certain monsters only coming out at night and NPCs having different routines. It's the kind of game where you set out to do one quest and end up on a completely different adventure because you got distracted by something cool along the way. The combat system is deep and satisfying, with each vocation feeling distinct and powerful in its own way. Climbing on giant monsters to take them down never gets old, and the way your pawns learn and adapt to your playstyle adds a unique layer of strategy to encounters. The world itself is a character, with diverse biomes that each present their own challenges and wonders to discover. And the way the game handles fast travel is brilliant. Having to set up camp and rest to regain stamina makes the world feel vast and dangerous. Speaking of vast and dangerous worlds, GTA 5 has a bustling streets that will keep you busy. Now here's a game that just keeps on giving. Even though it's been out for what feels like forever, hopping back into this satirical version of LA still feels fresh. The level of detail in this city is just mind-blowing. You've got people going about their daily lives, random events popping up all over the place, and a radio system that's so good you might find yourself just cruising around listening to music and its funny DJ. And let's not forget about the online mode. It's like a whole other game in itself. Whether you're pulling off elaborate heists with your crew or just causing mayhem in the streets, there's always something to do. The way Rockstar has managed to keep this game relevant for so long is honestly impressive. Every time you think you've seen everything, you stumble across some tiny detail that makes you appreciate the world all over again. The 3 protagonist system in the single-player mode adds a layer of depth to the storytelling. The way the city changes and reacts to major story events makes it feel like a living, evolving place. From the sun-soaked beaches of Vespucci to the gritty streets of South Los Santos, each area of the map has its own distinct personality. But if you want to really feel like you're in a living, breathing city, it's hard to beat Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The way Insomniac has captured the feel of being Spider-Man is just unreal. You can practically feel the wind rushing past you as you zip between skyscrapers. And it's not just about the swinging. The city itself is packed with so much detail and life. You've got pedestrians reacting to your presence, random crimes popping up that you can choose to intervene in, and countless Easter eggs for Marvel fans to discover. The addition of Queens and Brooklyn to the map makes the city feel even more expansive and diverse. And let's talk about those graphics. On a PS5, it's sometimes hard to tell where the cutscenes end and the gameplay begins. The way they've integrated the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers of the DualSense controller adds another layer of immersion, making you feel like you're really shooting webs and swinging through the city. The story is engaging too, balancing the personal struggles of Peter and Miles with the larger-than-life superhero action. And the villains, from Kraven to Venom, each one feels unique and poses a real threat. The side activities are varied and fun, never feeling like busy work. Whether you're taking photos of landmarks, solving puzzles in research stations, or just helping out random New Yorkers, there's always something to do. Now, if you want to talk about a game world that feels truly vast and mysterious, we've got to mention Elden Ring. From Software took their signature challenging gameplay and intricate level design and applied it to an open world, and the result is nothing short of magical. The Lands Between is a place of wonder and danger, where every new area you discover feels like a revelation. The way the game guides you through subtle environmental cues rather than explicit waypoints makes exploration feel organic and rewarding. And let me tell you, the first time you stumble across a massive legacy dungeon after hours of open world exploration, it's like finding a whole new game within the game. The lore is deep and cryptic, encouraging players to piece together the story through item descriptions, NPC dialogues, and environmental storytelling. The enemy design is top-notch, with each boss feeling like a truly epic encounter. And the freedom the game gives you in how to approach challenges is incredible. If you're stuck on a boss, you can just go explore somewhere else, level up, and come back later. The way online elements are integrated, with player messages and bloodstains scattered throughout the world, adds another layer of community and mystery to the experience. It's a game that respects your intelligence and rewards your curiosity, making every discovery feel earned. But if you prefer a post-apocalyptic setting, feel free to stroll through the Mojave Wasteland in Fallout New Vegas. Now, I know the graphics might not hold up to today's standards, but the depth of this world is unmatched. The way Obsidian crafted this post-nuclear Vegas and surrounding areas is just chef's kiss. Every location tells a story, every character has a history, and your choices actually matter in shaping the fate of the wasteland. The faction system is brilliantly done, with each group having their own motivations and philosophies. You can side with the NCR, support Caesar's Legion, work for Mr. House, or say screw it and try to take over New Vegas yourself. The way the game handles reputation with different factions adds another layer of depth to your interactions. And let's not forget about the companions. Each one has their own quest line and reacts to your choices in unique ways. The DLCs are fantastic too, each one feeling like a self-contained story that still ties into the larger narrative. The way the game blends dark humor with serious themes is masterful, creating a world that's both absurd and poignant. And the attention to detail in the world building is incredible. You can spend hours just reading terminal entries and piecing together the stories of those who lived before the bombs fell. Now, if you want to talk about a game that really nails the feeling of being alone in a vast alien world, we've got to mention Subnautica. This game takes the survival genre and quite literally submerges it in an alien ocean. The sense of wonder and terror as you first dive into those blue depths is unparalleled. Every dive is an adventure, with new biomes to discover, with each new piece of equipment opening up new areas to explore. And let me tell you, the first time you hear the roar of a leviathan in the distance is absolutely terrifying. The story is cleverly woven into the exploration. The sound design is phenomenal too. The way different biomes have their own ambient sounds really adds to the immersion. And the day and night cycle? It completely changes the feel of the ocean, with bioluminescent creatures lighting up the depths at night. The game does an amazing job of balancing the beauty of the alien world with the constant threat of the unknown lurking in the darkness. It's a game that encourages you to push just a little bit further, to dive just a little bit deeper, always dangling the promise of new discoveries. But maybe if you're looking for an RPG experience that really lets you shape the world around you, Divinity Original Sin 2 have your back. This game takes the concept of player choice to a whole new level. The way your choices impact the world and the story is just incredible. You can approach quests in so many different ways, and the game actually acknowledges and responds to your choices. The combat system is deep and strategic, encouraging creative use of the environment and elemental interactions. And let's talk about the character creation. You can either choose from a set of origin characters, each with their own unique storyline, or create your own custom character. The way your character's background and choices affect dialogue options and how NPCs react to you adds another layer of role-playing depth. The world itself is packed with detail and lore, with every area feeling distinct and full of secrets to uncover. The writing is also worth mentioning. From serious, dramatic moments to laugh-out-loud humor, the game nails every tone it aims for. The co-op mode is fantastic too, letting you and a friend experience the story together, even making different choices that can put you at odds with each other. It's a game that respects your intelligence and rewards your creativity, whether that's in combat, problem-solving, or dialogue. Now, if you're in the mood for something a bit more, shall we say, old school cool, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition is on another level. This game might be showing its age a bit graphically, but man, does it nail the atmosphere of 1940s and 50s America. The attention to detail in recreating the era is just phenomenal. From the cars to the clothing to the music on the radio, everything feels authentic. The way the city changes as you progress through the story, reflecting the passage of time, is really well done. And let's talk about that story. It's like playing through a classic gangster movie. The characters are well developed, the plot twists are genuinely surprising, and the ending, well, no spoilers, but it's a doozy. The gameplay might be more linear than some of the other open-world games we've talked about, but that allows for a tighter, more focused narrative. The gunplay feels weighty and satisfying, and the cover system works well. And can we talk about the driving? The way the old cars handle, sliding around corners and roaring down the streets, is just so much fun. The soundtrack is fantastic too, really helping to immerse you in the time period. It's a game that proves you don't need a massive open world to create an immersive environment. Sometimes a smaller, more detailed world can be just as engrossing. But if you're looking for a more recent take on recreating a beloved fictional world, we've got to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. This game is a dream come true for Harry Potter fans. The way Avalanche has brought Hogwarts and the surrounding areas to life is just magical. The castle itself is a character, with moving staircases, hidden passages, and rooms that seem to appear and disappear at will. Exploring every nook and cranny of the castle and grounds is a joy, with each discovery feeling like a reward for your curiosity. The way the game handles magic is fantastic too, with a wide variety of spells that can be used both in and out of combat. The story, set in the 1800s, does a great job of feeling both familiar and fresh, letting you experience the wizarding world from a new perspective. The side quests are well written too, often feeling like little magical adventures in their own right. The combat system is satisfying, letting you chain together spells in creative ways to take down your enemies. It's a game that really captures the wonder and whimsy of the Harry Potter universe, while still tackling some of its darker themes. Now, if we're talking about games that capture the essence of their setting, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best game I can recommend. Rockstar outdid themselves with this one, creating what might be the most detailed and immersive open world ever made. The way the game recreates the dying days of the Wild West is just phenomenal. Every location from bustling St. Denis to the snowy peaks of the Grizzlies feels distinct and alive. The attention to detail is insane, from the way mud cakes on your clothes to how your horse's parts shrink in cold weather. Yeah, the developer really went there. The story is a slow burn, but man, does it pay off. Arthur Morgan's journey is one of the most compelling character arcs in gaming history, and the way the world reacts to your actions is absolutely incredible. NPCs remember you, comment on your appearance, and react to your reputation. The wildlife system is amazing too. Hunting feels like a real skill you have to master, and don't even get me started on the random encounters. You might stumble across a KKK meeting in the woods, help a guy who's been bitten by a snake, or get ambushed by a rival gang. It all feels organic and unpredictable. The way the camp system works, with you needing to contribute and maintain relationships with your gang members, adds another layer of immersion. It's a game that asks you to slow down and really inhabit its world, and it rewards you richly for doing so. If you're a kind of player who don't want a slow game, then Forza Horizon Games is the right game for you. Now, I know you might be thinking why a racing game is included in a list of immersive open worlds, but please hear me out. The Forza Horizon series, particularly the latest entries, has created some of the most beautiful and engaging open worlds in gaming. Whether it's the sun-drenched streets of Mexico in Forza Horizon 5 or the changing seasons of Britain in Forza Horizon 4, these games nail the feeling of being on an epic road trip. The way the world is designed to be a playground for cars is just brilliant. You've got miles of winding country roads, bustling cities, off-road trails, and even the occasional golf course to tear through. The attention to detail in recreating these locations is impressive, from the architecture to the flora and fauna, and the way the games handle progression, with you slowly building up your reputation and unlocking new events and cars, gives a real sense of growth. The festivals that serve as the game's hubs feel alive and exciting, with music blaring and crowds cheering. And let's not forget about the multiplayer aspects, cruising around the world with friends, setting up impromptu races, or taking part in seasonal events all add to the feeling of being part of a living, breathing car culture. And finally, to conclude our list, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. CD Projekt Red created a world so rich in detail and storytelling that it's easy to lose hundreds of hours just exploring. The Witcher 3 is one of the games I know with a world that's so alive. The way side quests are handled is masterful. What starts as a simple monster contract can often evolve into a complex tale of moral ambiguity. The characters you meet along the way are unforgettable, from major players like Yennefer and Ciri to minor NPCs who might only appear in a single quest. The attention to detail in the world building is incredible, with folklore and politics intertwining to create a rich tapestry of lore. And let's talk about those monster designs. Each creature feels unique and terrifying in its own way. The combat system, while it might take some getting used to, feels satisfying once you master it. And the way alchemy and crafting are integrated into the gameplay encourages you to really engage with the world, gathering herbs and hunting monsters for ingredients. The two expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, are practically full games in themselves, adding even more depth to an already massive world. It's surely a game that will immerse you with its world. And there you have it. Which of these games have you already tried or planning to play? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.